red wall. I'm joined now by Lance Forman. He's a former
people out there are very unhappy. There's a lot of people that think that's been a complete and utter waste of, £110 billion to get people from the north of England to London 10 minutes quicker. So I think he'll have to spend quite a bit of time trying to defend that. It is crazy, and I'm hoping that whoever becomes leader next actually completely ditches that policy.
Well, there's also the issue of smart motorways that he seems to be sort of pressing ahead, and the fact that you can't really get to speak to anybody for the Department of Transport or whatever they're called now, or the Highways England, or they've changed their name a few times, spent a lot of money on the advertising, so it'll be interesting to see. Yeah, be interesting to see.
They're not very smart, and indeed, I would say that if you're a driver in the UK, you're probably having the worst time ever. For so many different reasons. Being a driver nowadays is not very pleasant, and of course, with all the duties, all the green taxes on fuel, it's just making life very difficult for drivers, for the haulage industry. So transport's not one of the strong points of this Tory government. There's a lot to be done.
Interesting. Well, I want to ask you whether you're worried that it's concerned with the red wall seats, because a lot of people have turned around. I'm not surprised they have, and said that they feel that the Tory party have stabbed Boris Johnson in the back, and then some of them are even trying to press for Boris Johnson to leave immediately, which I don't think is a good idea, especially if they want to keep the support of the red wall. Do you think that the Tories should be worried about that?
Well, again, it really depends on who Boris is replaced with. I mean, there's no question that, the Red Wall, they love Boris because he was a strong character. He had charisma. I understand that loads of people in the Red Wall have named their pets after Boris, which they might have to rename after the next leadership. But they were a fan of Boris. But I say that, I think a lot of them have felt over the last probably year or so that actually Boris hasn't been delivering Brexit in the way he might have done. I think they've been unhappy with his sort of complete, derangement over all the green stuff. There's a lot of support for fracking in the north of England. It would create tons of jobs. And the cost of living is the biggest issue. And, all the borrowing that the Conservatives have done under Boris, and particularly under Rishi, and our energy policy has led to a ridiculous, a rise in the cost of living. So we need a leader that's going to deal with that. Personally, I think there is only one actually that is really sound on economic policy, and I think that's Liz Truss. And she's a Brexit convert, and sometimes you find that the converts are even more passionate about it than the people that sort of came along at the outset.
She might be doing a Theresa May, though, mightn't she? Because she might be doing a Theresa May. I mean, Theresa May pretended that she was converted, and then it was clear that she simply wasn't, and didn't really want to get anything done. Listen, I mean, a lot of people in the Red Wall say that. A lot of people.
No, you said that. I've actually been following Liz for about 8 years now. She used to be the food minister, and obviously I'm in the food business. I've taken quite a close interest, and I've heard speeches she's delivered over the last 5 or 6 years. And, I know people joke about her doing her photographs looking like Thatcher, but I tell you what, if you read and listen to those speeches, they are the most Thatcherite and sort of free market speeches I've heard. And you have to remember, back in 1983, Thatcher won more seats across the UK than Boris did. A lot of those seats of the Red Wall were supportive of Thatcher. They're aspirational voters.
I don't know, I've still got a bad taste in my mouth after Theresa May. But, I mean, what do you think, though? A lot of the Red Wall people say that they voted because of Boris. See, and this is the thing. So what's stopping Labour from swooping in and rebuilding the Red Wall and trying to pretend that they're going to be, doing what they should traditionally be doing?
I think it's up to the next leader to prove that they can deliver. Boris did his job. He got Brexit done. But getting Brexit done isn't actually seizing the opportunities of Brexit. And we've only started on that. Again, Liz Truss was the one. She did the trade deals. But we haven't started on the deregulation. And we actually need to seize the opportunities of being independent now. So you need somebody that can buy into that. And, we've got 2 years to prove that actually we can deliver. And I think the red wall will come with us. The Labour Party are hardly the most inspiring at the moment. Most of the front bench were in Corbyn's government, supporting Corbyn for leader. So, I don't think that it's not as though we've got a particularly strong opposition to fight. So I think it really is up to the next leader. And I think that if you get somebody that appeals, somebody that's supported Boris and somebody that appeals to those red wall voters, somebody more in tune with Liz than somebody like Rishi Sunak, who's been increasing taxes, making the cost of living so much harder for people. I think we're actually in a quite a strong position.
Well, OK, Lance Willison, thank you for your view. That's former MEP Lance Forman. Right, let's